The human, Alex, had been exploring the abandoned space station for hours. He was alone, or at least he thought he was. Strange noises echoed through the metallic halls, whispers that seemed almost alive. Curiosity drove him toward a faint light at the end of a corridor. The walls hummed with energy, and the air smelled metallic, tinged with something sweet. He reached a large door, glowing faintly. As he pushed it open, he froze. The room was filled with alien women, tall and ethereal, their skin shimmering with colors Alex had never seen. Their eyes glowed softly, and they moved silently, almost floating across the floor. But what shocked him most was another figure, another human, tied to a chair in the center. The aliens turned to Alex. Their eyes were not angry, but curious, almost hungry for understanding. Alex wanted to run, but the door slammed shut behind him. He was trapped. The leader of the aliens, taller than the rest, with silver hair floating like liquid, stepped forward. She spoke in a voice that was melodic yet commanding. "Why have you come here, human?" Alex stammered. I was exploring. I didn't mean any harm." The alien women tilted their heads, exchanging silent communication. Then one of them approached the other human, brushing her hand across his face. Alex saw no fear in the man's eyes, only calm, almost hypnotized. The leader's gaze returned to Alex. "He is our guest now, as will be you. You cannot leave until you understand." Alex's heart raced. What did she mean by understand? What were they keeping in this room? He tried the door. It was locked, unbreakable. Panic clawed at him. The aliens began to circle the two humans, whispering in a language that vibrated in Alex's chest. He felt dizzy, as if the room itself was alive. The man in the chair smiled faintly, as if Alex had just entered a new world, one he could not escape from. Time stretched. The aliens spoke again, this time in broken human words. "The human is special. He can see. He can learn. You can stay if you can adapt." Alex didn't know what they meant, but one thing was clear: escaping would not be simple, not until he understood their secrets. The room darkened suddenly, the walls pulsating with a strange light. Alex felt drawn into their world, a world where humans and aliens existed on the same fragile line, but one wrong move could make him their permanent guest. And then, the leader whispered a single word that made Alex's blood run cold. "Choose." Welcome to my channel, Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Alex stepped cautiously into the abandoned space station, his boots echoing on the metal floor. The air smelled strange and metallic, a mixture of old machinery, and something sweet that he could not identify. He had been exploring for hours, thinking he was alone. But the feeling that he was being watched would not leave him. He turned a corner and saw a faint light flickering at the end of a long corridor. Curiosity pulled him forward, his heart beating faster. With every step, the walls hummed with energy, as if the station itself was alive and aware of his presence. He reached a large door glowing faintly. With an unnatural light, he hesitated for a moment, then pushed it open and froze. The room beyond was like nothing he had ever seen before. It was filled with alien women, their skin shimmering with colors that shifted. As they moved, their eyes glowed softly, and they floated across the floor with a grace that was almost hypnotic. But what shocked him most was the figure in the center, another human, a man tied to a chair, looking calm, almost serene, as if he had accepted his fate before Alex had even arrived. The aliens turned their heads toward him, their gaze curious and penetrating. Alex wanted to run, but the door slammed shut behind him, trapping him in the room. Panic surged through him. He took a step back and tried the handle. It was locked solidly, and he could not break it. His heart pounded in his chest. The leader of the aliens stepped forward, taller than the rest, with silver hair floating like liquid around her shoulders. Her eyes glowing brighter than the others, she spoke in a melodic voice that seemed to vibrate in Alex's mind. "Why have you come here, human?" she asked. Alex swallowed hard. I was exploring. I did not mean any harm," he stammered. The aliens exchanged silent communication, their whispers vibrating in the air like an unbroken song. One of them approached the man in the chair, brushing a hand across his face. Alex noticed no fear in the man's eyes, only calm, almost hypnotic acceptance. The leader turned back to him. "You cannot leave until you understand," she said. The words hung in the air and made Alex shiver. He did not know what they meant. The room pulsed with energy, The walls seemed alive with shifting lights. The aliens began to circle the humans, whispering in a language that vibrated in his chest, making his vision blur. Alex felt dizzy, as if the air itself was thick, with power, time, lost meaning around him. The man in the chair smiled faintly, as if welcoming Alex into a world he could not yet comprehend. The aliens spoke again, this time in broken, human words. The human is special, he can see, he can learn, you can stay if you can adapt. Alex tried to back away, but his legs felt heavy, his mind raced with questions. Who were these beings? What did they want? And why was the human so calm? The leader stepped closer, her presence overwhelming. Alex could feel her thoughts brushing against his mind, probing his fears and his desires. You have come far, human. But this is only the beginning, she said. The other aliens hummed in unison, a sound that seemed to resonate with the very core of Alex's being. His head spun, with visions of distant planet cities, filled with beings beyond imagination, landscapes that defied human understanding. The visions flashed faster and faster, showing humans working alongside aliens, not as slaves, but as equals. And yet the sense of danger remained. The man in the chair spoke again, his voice steady and calm. You are afraid, but fear is the first barrier you must overcome to understand. Alex nodded, even though his heart still pounded. The aliens circled him slowly, their movements graceful and fluid. One brushed past his shoulder, and he felt a warmth that made his skin tingle. It was not threatening, but it was powerful, a sense of connection he had never felt before. The leader spoke once more in her melodic voice. Now you will see, you will understand. Alex tried to focus his mind. As the hum of the aliens filled the room, his thoughts raced, trying to grasp the meaning behind their actions. The man in the chair turned his head and looked at Alex. You can choose to resist or to learn, he said simply. Alex swallowed hard and tried to steady his breathing, his mind a whirlwind of confusion, curiosity, and fear. The room darkened slightly. The pulsating lights on the walls grew brighter, casting shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. Alex felt drawn into the energy of the room, as if the space itself was alive. He took a cautious step forward, feeling the hum resonate deeper within him. The other human spoke again. With a small smile, I have seen what is possible, and now it is your turn. The aliens continued their slow circle, whispering words Alex could not fully understand, yet he felt the meaning of them in his chest. They were testing him, preparing him for something greater. He felt his fear battling with a strange sense of fascination. He could not look away. The leader extended a hand toward him, a gesture of invitation, not a threat. Come forward, she said, the voice soft, yet commanding. Alex hesitated, his instincts screaming to flee, but the door was locked, and his curiosity stronger than his fear. He took a cautious step forward. The aliens watched intently, their eyes glowing with a soft light. As he moved closer, the man in the chair reached out, as if to guide him. Alex felt a strange calm wash over him, a connection he could not explain. The leader spoke once more. A choice is always a choice, but consequences follow. Alex nodded slowly. He did not fully understand, but he knew he could not turn back. The other aliens began to hum louder, their voices merging into a single melody that resonated through the room, making the hairs on his neck stand on end. He closed his eyes and felt the energy wrap around him like a living entity. He could sense the thoughts of the aliens, their curiosity, their power, and their patience. He could feel the calm acceptance of the man in the chair. And slowly the fear that had gripped him began to shift into something else, something resembling understanding, or at least the beginning of it. The leader watched him carefully. Your first step toward understanding has begun, she said. Alex opened his eyes and looked around the room. He no longer felt entirely like an intruder. He felt part of something larger, something powerful. He could not yet grasp the boundaries of his fear and curiosity were blurring. The other humans smiled again and whispered, do not be afraid. It is only the beginning. Alex took a deep breath and nodded. He did not know what lay ahead, but he could feel that the choice he would make here would change everything in his life. The aliens stopped their circle for a moment, their glowing eyes fixed on him, as if waiting for him to make the next move. The hum of the room seemed to pulse in sync with his heartbeat. Alex felt a strange courage rise within him. He took another step forward, toward the center of the room. The man in the chair extended his hand again, this time more insistently. Alex reached out and took it. The warmth of the touch spread through him, grounding him in the strange reality of the room. The leader smiled a small nod of approval, and the other aliens began to move closer, forming a protective circle around the two humans. Alex felt the energy of the room envelop him. The hum of the alien voices now felt like music, guiding him, teaching him. He began to sense the thoughts and intentions of the beings around him. Slowly, a picture began to form in his mind of the world, beyond the space station. A world where humans and aliens could coexist, where knowledge and understanding transcended fear. He looked at the human in the chair, and finally understood why he remained calm. He had accepted the invitation to learn, and to grow. Alex swallowed hard, his fear now tempered with anticipation. He took a deep breath, and stepped fully into the center of the room. The aliens closed in around him, their presence overwhelming yet comforting. The leader spoke once more. "Now you understand the beginning." Alex felt the word resonate through him. The first step had been taken. The room seemed to breathe around him, the lights pulsing softly, the alien's hum merging with his own heartbeat. He felt a strange exhilaration mixed with trepidation. He was no longer simply a human trapped in a room. He was becoming part of something larger, part of a world that challenged every understanding he had ever held. The man in the chair whispered again, "You have chosen wisely." Alex nodded slowly. The aliens began to hum in a more complex rhythm. Alex felt the patterns in his mind, understanding flickering like sparks across a dark sky. He felt the room change. The walls shimmered with energy, the air thick with possibilities. He could sense the other human's thoughts, and the alien's intentions. The door was still closed, but it no longer mattered. Alex understood that this was not a prison, it was a gateway, a test, and an invitation all in one. He looked around at the alien women, their glowing eyes serene and commanding, and for the first time he did not feel fear, only a sense of anticipation. The leader extended a hand once more, and Alex took it, fully accepting the strange energy and the challenge that came with it. The hum grew louder, filling the room with a vibrating power that seemed to merge with his own thoughts. He felt alive in a way he had never experienced before. The man in the chair rose slowly and smiled. "You are ready now," he said. The aliens circled them slowly, the energy wrapping tighter around Alex. He felt the pull of knowledge and understanding drawing him in deeper with each passing moment. The leader spoke one final time. "For now, the first step is taken, but many more await." Alex nodded, understanding that this was only the beginning of a journey he could not yet fully comprehend. The room pulsed once more with the alien energy, and Alex felt himself changing, the human fear and uncertainty blending with curiosity and awe. He looked around at the alien women and finally whispered to himself, "I understand a little now, and I am ready to learn." The man in the chair smiled knowingly, and Alex realized that he had entered a world he could not escape, not because the doors were locked, but because he had chosen to stay and learn. He felt the warmth of the alien energy surrounding him, guiding him, teaching him, opening his mind to possibilities beyond imagination. The lights shimmered, the hum vibrated, and Alex took a final deep breath, feeling the power and mystery of the room envelop him completely, knowing that his life had changed forever. Alex felt the energy of the room wrap around him like a living thing, his senses tingling with awareness of the alien presence and the other human beside him. He had stepped fully into their world, and now there was no turning back. The leader with silver hair floated closer, her eyes glowing brighter than ever before. "You have come far, human," she said. "Your mind is open now, but understanding comes with action." Alex nodded, even though he did not fully grasp what she meant. The other human reached out to him and placed a hand on his shoulder, a calming warmth spreading through Alex, as if to reassure him. "You are ready now," he whispered. Alex took a deep breath and tried to steady his racing thoughts. The room pulsed with alien energy, the hum vibrating through his chest. He could feel the thoughts of the alien women brushing against his mind, probing gently, exploring his fears and desires. He realized that the fear that had gripped him was fading, replaced by a strange sense of anticipation. The leader spoke once more. "A choice must be made now." Alex looked at her hesitantly. "What choice?" he asked, her eyes glowing. "You may leave and return to your world, but you will never understand what we offer, or you may stay and learn the ways of our people, the possibilities, and the power that comes with knowledge." Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. The idea of leaving was tempting. He had been afraid and alone for so long, but something deep inside him urged him to stay. He could feel the pull of the room drawing him forward. The man in the chair smiled and gestured toward the glowing walls. "Follow me," he said, and Alex moved cautiously toward the center of the room. The alien women circled around them, their whispers filling the air with vibrations that resonated in his mind. Alex could feel the energy guiding him, teaching him. The first lesson was not of words, but of perception. He could sense the smallest movements, the slightest shifts in the air, the hum of the station, blending with the alien presence. He felt a clarity that he had never experienced before. The leader extended her hands, and the walls shimmered, showing visions of distant world civilizations, Filled with beings both terrifying and magnificent, he saw humans working alongside aliens exploring planets, building cities, reaching for the stars in harmony. And yet he also saw dangers, predators lurking in dark corners of space, wars fought over resources. And fear. The leader spoke. As if reading his thoughts, all knowledge comes with risk. She said, understanding comes with courage. Alex nodded, slowly absorbing the visions and trying to make sense of them. The man in the chair guided him to a platform at the center of the room. Step forward, he said. Alex did so, feeling a sudden rush of energy coursing through him. The alien women hummed louder, and he felt his mind expanding, possibilities opening to concepts he had never imagined. He could sense patterns of thought and energy, the connections between the aliens, and even glimpses of the future. The leader observed silently. Now, Alex, you begin to see, but seeing is not enough. You must act. Alex felt a surge of fear at the word act. What must I do? He asked, and the leader smiled, a small, knowing smile. The first test is always the hardest, she said. Alex looked at the other human, who nodded reassuringly. You will learn quickly. He said. The test began with a simple gesture, a thought, a focus of energy. Lex concentrated, feeling the pulse of the room guiding him. He raised his hands slightly, and the air around him seemed to respond. The lights shimmered, and the hum intensified. He felt a thrill of excitement. The leader spoke again. Your mind is open now. Focus on the connection, not the outcome. Alex did as she instructed, closing his eyes and feeling the energy flow through him. The alien women whispered encouragement. The human beside him guided him step by step. Alex felt a sudden rush of understanding. The energy was not separate from him. He was part of it, and it was part of him. He could sense the thoughts of the other human guiding the alien women. Learning. As he learned, the first test ended not with a failure, but with a spark of achievement. A small smile crossed Alex's face. He had done it in his own way. The leader stepped closer. Well done, she said. Now you will learn more, deeper lessons, not all of which will be easy. Alex nodded, accepting the challenge. The next hours, or maybe days, passed in a blur. Alex could not tell the passage of time. He learned to sense the energy of the room, communicate without words, understand without explanation. The other human became his guide and mentor, showing him the subtleties of alien perception, of thought, of emotion. Alex felt himself changing, his mind expanding, opening to the possibilities of this strange and powerful world. The alien women moved around him, teaching lessons of balance, patience, and awareness. He could sense the power in each movement, the intention behind each gesture. He felt the rhythm of the room, the pulse of the energy, the hum of life itself. The leader observed silently, allowing him to grow at his own pace. Alex began to see patterns in the visions he had glimpsed earlier, patterns of civilizations thriving together, patterns of conflict, patterns of survival. The lessons became more complex, involving coordination of thought, energy, and focus. The room seemed alive, responding to his every movement. He felt exhilaration and fear mixing in a heady combination. He understood that knowledge and power came with responsibility. He could see the consequences of actions before they happened, and yet he had to choose which path to follow. The man in the chair smiled at him. Once more, you are ready for the next step, he said. Alex nodded, understanding the meaning of the words. Though not fully, the next step involved merging his mind with the alien energy, more fully letting go of fear, letting go of hesitation. The aliens circled him faster, their whispers forming a complex rhythm that resonated in his chest. He felt his heartbeat synchronizing with the hum of the room. The leader extended her hands, and the room glowed brighter than ever before. Alex took a deep breath and allowed the energy to flow through him. He felt every cell of his body vibrating with understanding, a vision of the universe opened in his mind, galaxies spinning, civilizations growing and falling. He felt the scale of existence pressing down on him, yet lifting him at the same time. The lessons continued endlessly. Perception, focus, understanding, empathy, strategy. The aliens guided him through each one, showing him the interconnectedness of all things. He could feel the thoughts of the other human, the presence of the leader, and the awareness of the alien women, all blending into a symphony of knowledge. Alex felt himself becoming part of something far greater than himself, a being capable of seeing possibilities beyond ordinary human comprehension. Hours or days, or perhaps weeks passed in a timeless blur, each lesson more challenging than the last, yet each one filling him with wonder and curiosity. He could sense the universe in a way he never imagined. He could understand intention, energy, and thought, all blending together. The man in the chair spoke once more, and Alex felt the truth of his words. You have grown beyond fear. Now you can choose to act, to shape not only your destiny, But the destiny of those around you, Alex felt a surge of responsibility, the weight of knowledge pressing on him. Yet it was exhilarating. He could see the potential for humans and aliens to coexist and thrive together. The leader stepped closer. Your final test is not of strength, but of understanding, she said. Alex nodded, knowing this was the culmination of everything he had learned. He focused on the energy around him, the thoughts of the aliens, the guidance of the other human. He felt the pulse of the room, responding to him. The alien women moved in a complex pattern around him, testing his focus, his perception, his empathy. He could feel the energy flowing through him, merging with his own understanding. He began to direct it, shaping it, guiding it. The room responded, amplifying his efforts. The leader observed silently. Finally, she spoke. You have passed, Alex. You have chosen to learn, to understand, to grow. You are ready for the world beyond this room. He opened his eyes and looked around. The alien women bowed slightly. The man in the chair smiled warmly and extended his hand. Alex took it, feeling the warmth of connection he had never experienced before. The leader nodded approvingly. Your journey begins now, she said. You will leave this room, but the lessons you have learned will stay with you forever. Alex felt a surge of anticipation and excitement. He was no longer simply a human trapped in a room. He was part of a greater reality. He could leave, but he chose to stay within himself, carrying the lessons forward. The door clicked open, and the room pulsed one last time. Alex stepped toward the exit, feeling the presence of the alien women and the other human with him in his mind. He knew his life had changed forever. The station no longer seemed empty. He could sense the energy flowing through its corridors, the whispers of the aliens guiding him. His thoughts clear, his fears diminished. He smiled, knowing that the path ahead would be challenging, yet full of possibility. He had become something more than human, something capable of understanding and acting in ways he had never imagined. The man in the chair spoke once more as they walked together. The universe is waiting, Alex whispered to himself, and knew it was true. He could feel the world stretching before him, the potential for connection, understanding, and growth. He had been trapped, but now he was free to learn, free to act, free to become the bridge between humans and aliens. The leader watched from the doorway, her eyes glowing softly. You have chosen wisely, she said, and Alex felt a deep sense of purpose and belonging. He understood that the room had not been a prison, but a gateway, a place to grow, and now he carried its lessons with him. He felt the pulse of the alien energy inside him, the whispers guiding his thoughts and actions. He smiled at the possibilities. The other humans smiled back, and together they moved forward into a universe full of challenges, wonder, and infinite potential. Alex had entered a room of alien women and a human man, and he had been changed forever. He had faced fear, learned understanding, and chosen growth. He was no longer simply human. He was a new kind of being, capable of bridging worlds and shaping the future. The station lights dimmed as they walked away, but the energy remained inside him, guiding him, teaching him, opening his mind to possibilities he had never imagined. He took a final deep breath, feeling the hum in his chest, and whispered to himself, I am ready. And the universe seemed to respond, welcoming him into its vast, endless expanse, knowing that his journey had only just begun.